welcome back. This is Martin, and today we're going to do a tutorial for BrickLink. I'm going to show you how to either add a set to your store to sell, part out a set to sell, or just simply add an individual piece. There's multiple ways to do it, so let's get started. Okay, you can see right now we're on the home page for BrickLink. And what we first want to do is assume that you're signed in, assume that you're a registered seller. If you're not, you need to go back and either watch my videos to do that or figure it out on your own. So we're going to click sell. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bigger to see. Zoom in. There we go. We're going to click sell. And from there we have some options. You can sell a set or a part or a minifigure. Different options. Let's start with a set. And click submit. So it brings up this screen. It's asking you what set you got. So you went to the store and you bought a little fire motorcycle set, and it's set number 60,000. So let's type that in. Okay. And if we click view image, it says nothing's available. I wonder why, I don't know. Comments, if you want to put any comments, this is for the buyer to see, or anyone that's browsing through your store. My remarks, that is just for you. So if you have it stored in a certain place, this is probably the spot to put that. Quantity, if you only have one, put 1. If you have 10, put 10. Pretty simple. The price, you need to choose your price. Let's just throw in $25. Okay, and then this is the most important part, the condition. Is it new or used? Well, if it hasn't been played with, it is new. Complete, incomplete, or sealed. Sealed's pretty easy. If you have not opened it or if no one has opened it, it is sealed. If it has been opened and everything is still there, it can be complete. Is stockroom item. Only mark it as stockroom item if you don't want anyone else to see it. You want it uploaded to your store, but you don't want to sell it yet. So we're not going to check that. Retain after sold out. I like to mark this if I plan to buy another one in the future. And then I've already got this in the system and I don't have to redo this step. Find a super lot. I don't do any of that. I'm not going to show you how to do that, but it's not too difficult to figure out. We're going to click review item. Hey, there's a problem. It doesn't like the number I put in. So what's wrong with 60,000? If we go to the Lego website, that's what it says. It's item number 60,000. But if we go to the reference catalog for BrickLink, there's a -1. That one's kind of like a hidden number. Like instead of saying the 1 in front of your phone number every time, you just leave it off. So this, it's the same thing, it's just on the end. So we're going to add that in. It's a -1. And now guess what? When we click view image, the image actually does show up. So you can look and say, hey, that is what I bought. That is what I want to sell. So I zoom down to the bottom, we click review item. There it is. We have one for $25 and a quick review. That's what we want to do. You're going to click add to inventory and it's going to be out there ready for everyone to see at that moment. I'm not going to do that because I don't have it to sell right now. Okay, let's start over. Let's say that you bought that set, but you don't want to sell it as a whole. You want to part it out. You want to sell the parts individually. So we're going to click on sell. And now we can part set. Now there's two ways to get there. You can go down to here where it says part out set, or you can go up on this tab where it says part set. Either one works. All right, part out a set. You can do a part, a minifig, a book, gear, whatever. And we're going to type in the set number. Notice it already says the -1 for us, which is nice. If you're going to sell the instructions, you make sure that's clicked. I typically do not sell the box. If you're going to include the extra parts, which will be listed, make sure that's clicked. Your quantity, very important. And then are you going to keep the minifigures whole? You can split up the minifigures or you can keep them whole. I typically keep them whole. Break sets, in set. What does that mean? Well, this set is actually a part of a bunch of other sets. You can see there's some city super packs here. They include other sets. So let's go through the process there. That's number 66448. And let's pretend that you bought a super pack and you want to sell them all. Well, we're going to break sets in set and see what happens. Submit for edit. This parts out everything, and as we go to the bottom, we can see you've got all the parts, you've got all your individual minifigures, 143 lots, 333 items. The other option, if you did not click break sets in set, let's see what that does. All that is going to do is have those 3 sets sold individually, and you're going to choose a price to sell them individually. That's why that's important. So if you do a super lot and you want to part out everything, make sure that you click break sets in set. Okay, back to this. 60,000. Default condition to new, default prices. You can enter your own and be tedious and take your time and look up every price, or you can go last 6 months sales average, or one of these options. Round to 2 decimals or 3, that is a choice. Again, there's the option for stockroom, retain, or exclude all items from upload by default. I typically only mark retain. Set-based tier pricing, you can do that. A lot of people do not. Consolidate, I do like to consolidate. So let's say there's a red 1x2 brick, and you already have a bunch in your store, and it's in this set. Well, instead of adding it and making now 2 lots, you want to consolidate. Keep it all in 1 lot. You're going to most likely store them in the same place. If you're not, then you don't want to consolidate. But if you're storing them in the same place, go ahead and consolidate them. And it gives you these options. You can keep it at the old price, or you can make a new price. So look through those options. It's good stuff. We'll click Submit for Edit. Here we go. It's got every single part. It's got that average price filled in for every single part. Again, for each and every part, you can put your own remark. You can say where you stored it or whatever else. Drawer A, something like that. Scroll down to the very bottom. It's got the 1 minifigure. Make sure, I clicked on the picture, it blows it up. Make sure that you have the correct pieces for that minifigure. A lot of times this guy has a visor. There'll be an extra visor or whatever else. You want to make sure that you have the right parts included with him. Now this set is unique. It doesn't have any alternate items, but I like the fact that it has the tap, because a lot of times the tap can be different and it may not even be marked. So you do want to check your pieces. This tap says it does not have a hole in the end. So you want to make sure you're looking at it and it looks like that. Some of them have a hole. It's actually a different part number. So when you're starting this, you want to make sure you're going through piece by piece and verifying each and every item. Here you can see these pieces are different. For instance, this 6126B, there's a 6126A. You need to look at your parts carefully and make sure that, especially if you're adding them to a larger inventory, that you're not mixing parts together. You need to be labeling things correctly. Here we go. This is extra items. It is adding and saying, hey, there's an extra item. We added it in. There's 4. If you don't have 4 pieces, you need to take this away and cut it back down to 3. Okay, once everything's good, including the instructions, you verify the items. It's going to tell you it's consolidating when you have prior pieces. Notice the first one's not consolidating. There was nothing to consolidate to. For me, I've already got these pieces in my store, so it's consolidating. Here's a good example. It's consolidating, but it's doing so as a stockroom item. That means it's going to, after I upload this, it's still going to be in my stockroom. I need to go into my store and get it out of there. Make sure it gets on the shelf for buyers to see. We scroll down to the bottom. It's going to tell us 43 items, 24 unique lots, totaling $6.77. Once everything is verified and everything's good to go, you click Upload Items. It's in your store ready to roll. If you go through here and you see a red or orange bar, that means something was wrong. You got to go back and figure it out. Okay, that should be good for parting out a set. All right, let's say you want to sell just one individual piece. And again, let's pretend it's that red brick, that little 1x2 red brick. Well, there's two different ways. If it's the first one that you have in your inventory, you can click on that Sell tab. You can go to Parts, click Submit, and type in the item number. Well, I don't know what the item number is. That means you got to go look for it. Okay, there, we found the item number is 3004. Click View Image. We want to make sure that we set our color. We said it's going to be red. Here's our color list. I'm using a Mac. This will show up differently in all these pull-down menus on a PC. I know because I've used both. Comments again, this is for the buyer. This is for the buyer. This is for you as the seller. Whoops. There we go. So that's private. Quantity. Let's say you just have one. And let's say you want the price to be 10 cents. Again, you can set tiered pricing. You can have a % off, new or used. We want to retain after it's sold out. Let's click Review Item. So if I hit Add it to Inventory, I'm going to now have a red brick in my store. It's just reviewing right here, one for 10 cents. Well, let's say I've got a piece that's already in my store. Let's go through that process next. Okay, for the next piece, let's pretend it's already in the store. What's the best way to upload it? Well, there are still two different ways. Let's say we're going to do the slope. It's going to be a trans clear cheese piece or part number 54200. So we can do the same process. Click Sell, Parts, Submit. Type in the part number. Click View Image. That is the default image. We want to change our color to trans clear. Trans clear. Okay. Again, comments. Buyer. These are private. Just so you remember. All right, let's say I'm adding 10 of them. I'm going to put I want to put them for 5 cents a piece. And they're new, and we want to retain after sold out. Review item. Okay, here's something. I know I already have this piece in my store, but it's not consolidating. Why is that? Well, it's because I put remarks on it. If I click back and I change those remarks, and comments, both, then it will consolidate. By putting remarks or a comment, it makes it unique. So, you want to make sure that you're checking before you do that. All right, so we can list it with a new lot, which is essentially what we are going to do there, or we can simply adjust the old quantity. Here I'm adding 10 to my lot of 16 already, making a total of 26. And again, it's allowing me to choose the old price, the new price. So that's one way to do it. The other way to add an individual part is to click on My Inventory. It's got your list of all your inventory items. By clicking a keyword, you can look it up by part number. The other way to do it would be search by category, by color, a bunch of different ways to find it. But we're going to search by part number. We're going to find that specific price right here, and we can change that quantity from a 16 to a 26. It's that simple. Once you have it changed, you roll it down and you hit Submit Changes at the bottom. Now you've got your new amount. Okay, we should be all set for how you should add a set, part out a set, or add a piece. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will try to help you out. Otherwise, I hope that did it for you today, and I'll catch up with you guys next time. Make sure you like and or subscribe for more videos.